Over 40 years ago, I learned what I thought everything that I needed to know about the skin. I learned all the anatomy and all the physiology and all the functions of the skin. And then I went on to learn all the diseases of the skin and all the medication that could be used on these diseases. And then, over time, I began to realise that the skin and the disease that was being caused, the disease wasn't the problem. It was what people are doing to their skin and not understanding the importance of skin. And again, from the very beginning, our skin is an organ. We don't think too much about it. I think a lot of the time we think it just covers our body and we wash it, and as long as it looks all right, maybe put a bit of makeup on it and away we go. And of course there are then some people who spend an awful lot of money on their skin because they have problems with their skin and they want to stay young and prevent not only disease but prevent ageing and all the promises that are out there. A lot of them are nothing more than hype. And I had to go back myself and learn how to care for the skin. And very briefly, I'm just going to give a very short reason why I'm doing this video and why I'm so passionate about exposing the cause of problems in the body. It's because they're so easily eradicated. Knowledge, they say, is power. And when we put that knowledge to good use, we will have good skin and good health. The skin, I suppose really, well, there's a picture over here, and that's just the superficial part of the skin, the outer layer of the skin, without going in too deep to it. This here gives a good overview of a section of a hair follicle. And again, you know, we don't think about the different layers that go right down to the muscle. And we don't think that every hair follicle that we have has glands and blood vessels and lymphatic systems and nerve endings and so many things going on in the skin. And that every single hair that we have, whether it's on our head, you know, and sometimes, you know, we don't think about the little hairs that are on our arms, but every single hair that is so minute has this structure going on. And the functions of our skin are very important because our skin, yes, our skin does protect us. It's an outer layer, it protects us. Again, we have nerve endings in our skin, so it's very important that when we touch something, we know if it's soft or if it's cold or if it's, you know, we judge whether it's harmful to us or whether it's safe. Our skin also secretes serum. This serum keeps our hair in good condition, and it's also very important, it keeps our skin waterproof, and that's very important too because we don't want to be evaporating unnecessarily unnecessary amounts of water. The other thing that's very important as well is our skin. On the surface of our skin, there's so much bacteria, good healthy bacteria on the surface of our skin. And we know that the advertising companies have really profited greatly from telling us that bacteria on our skin is going to kill us. There is bacteria in our skin, and it's very important that the bacteria stays on the surface of our skin. We have bacteria all over our body. We have different bacteria in our mouth. We have different bacteria in our eyes. We have different bacteria all around our body. Inside our body, we have different bacteria. And like anything, we don't want the different families of bacteria to mix because the one on our skin is supposed to look after the outside of our skin and not go into the inside of our skin. And that's why when there's cross-infection in hospitals, is that the outer part of the skin, that anybody that goes near a wound, well, the outer part of the skin, the bacteria could very readily be transmitted to the blood if somebody was examining a wound or doing an operation. that the outer bacteria could easily go into the inside, and that sets up problems. So keeping all our bacteria in place is very important. So the bacteria on the surface of the skin is very, very important. It's our first line of defense from bacteria from the outside. Also, another function of the skin as well is that we need cholesterol, good cholesterol in our body, and that cholesterol, the good cholesterol from omegas, they will eventually they'll come to this through the glands that are being secreted from the skin, keeping the skin nice and subtle. The cholesterol will eventually go to the surface of the skin, and what happens there is that's very important, because when we go out into the sunshine, the sun is very important. The sun shines on the cholesterol that's keeping the skin nice and healthy, and then the body is able to absorb vitamin D back into our system. So that's really the skin, very, very important, and we shouldn't be damaging our skin. Now, for me, it was an eye-opener when I realised that there are, in my own home, and I was using them, thousands of, well, when I say thousands, I suppose I've removed about 3,000 chemicals already from my home just by being educated. But there's only one that I will talk about here, because otherwise if I was to go through all of them, it would just take forever. And one of the chemicals that's frequently used in cleaning the face or cleaning the hair and stripping the body and damaging the bacteria and drying the skin and causing all sorts of problems. Most people don't realise. I didn't realise that up to 16 years ago, that I had never washed myself with a shampoo or a body wash. Never. I had only been using harsh chemicals, industrial chemicals on my skin, and that was quite a big opener. So I spent a lot of time. I just took one chemical, sodium lauryl sulfate. Just took one chemical, and I couldn't believe it. I just went round the shops looking at all the shampoos that were on the shelves, and every single one of them has sodium. So they just keep recycling the same thing over and over again and just calling it a different product or a different name or whatever the case may be. So it's not science, and that then goes on and causes damage. And what it does, from a scientifically proven is that sodium lauryl sulfate, now that we're hearing and being educated from real scientists, is sodium lauryl sulfate, known as SLS. And this is only one chemical that's in these shampoos and body washes and everything. It's a harsh detergent. It's a wetting agent, and its purpose was for cleaning garages and engines, the grease out of engines. And it has been known all along to be a skin irritant. It has also been known to be absorbed very quickly into the blood system because of the connection to the blood supply. And what happens when it goes into the body, because it's a toxic chemical, it lodges in the body. So anything that's normal is used by the body, and the body can work with it. But if it's a chemical, the body tries to store it because it's foreign to the body. And because of this, it can be absorbed in the eyes, in the brain, in the heart, in the liver. And if you have chemicals, even this one chemical alone being absorbed in the body, you can just imagine the possibility of causing problems down the line due to the accumulative effects of that chemical and other chemicals on long term. It also may cause cataracts in adults, and it may prevent children's eyes from developing. So not a great idea putting it onto children, putting it onto their head or onto their face, let it run down their face and into their eyes. Not a good idea. So that one chemical alone, just one, would be an amazing thing to remove from your home. I did it 16 years ago, and that's why I'm so passionate about just talking to people and telling them, look, if you know what's going on, it could be going on in your own home, you can stop it. How simple is that? So for me, I have found a brand that I trust, that has science behind, proven science behind it, and is also approved by many new regulatory bodies that are working with green science. So again, when I buy this, I know it's unusual to actually use the same shampoo for a number of months, never mind years. I have only used this shampoo for 16 years, and the same with the rest of my family. And educating the next generation is really, we're only the first generation that's waking up to it, but we really need to educate our children, because we can't let it go on another generation. But anyway, I use this shampoo, and you know, it costs a little bit more than you would buy in the supermarket, but to me it's my daily use. I use it for, you know, first aid, goes on my head, you know, and I can use it on my body if I want. It's, you know, all these products that I use can be used as first aid, and this, more importantly, it's an insurance policy. So to me, it's 3-in-1 when I use this brand. I use very little of it. It doesn't look like a very big bottle, but it's very concentrated. It's a little top on it like that. I just take a little bit out, put it in the palm of my hand, very careful, because it's thick when it comes out. It's like a jelly, and it's precious. Every time I use it, I just use as much as I need to wash my hair, and thankfully I've had no problems with my skin. Now this is this is taking the world by storm, this brand, because of the science behind it, and when people realise that they've been told a whole pack of lies, and they then look, and you need to look, and you need to research, and you need to know yourself. It's not a matter of jumping from one product or one brand to another. Just become educated and become safe and become healthy and protect yourself. And above all, enjoy life and experience wonderful health.